Hi Aries, welcome to September. This is Teresa from tarotbyt.com, and I'm getting ready to do your Love TarotScope for September. And before I do that, I want to call in some good energy and create some sacred space for this reading. So, and also to say thank you for those who have liked and shared my videos, for those who have left comments. I really appreciate your feedback. And also for those who have ordered readings, I appreciate your support and I value every one of you. And for those who are new to watching, welcome. So we have, let's see what's going on this month. We have a new moon in Virgo on September 9th and a full moon in your sign, Aries, on September 24th, which we'll get into later. So let's see what Aries needs to know about love and relationships for the month of September. What's coming up for Aries for the month of September? What is coming up for Aries for the month of September in love? What is coming up in love for Aries for the month of September? May only the highest forces be present to ensure that the truth be told. Okay, let's see what we have. I'm getting close to... Alright, Ten of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Ten of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Fool, the Two of Swords, the Hierophant, the Ten of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so you start out with the Ten of Pentacles and the High Priestess. So you're doing really well financially. I mean, you're getting your act together as far as career goes too, because I'm seeing the Three of Wands. This is a card of wealth and physical comfort, you know, where you're in an environment and you feel safe. It could be a relationship that helps you to feel secure. It doesn't even always have to be money, although the Ten of Pentacles relate to material things. But it can be wealth, it can be, but it's really security. I feel like in this card, you're starting to feel secure. You might be having people in your life, like family. You might be connecting with family, or connecting with people that help you to feel secure, like you feel that you're not alone in the world. You have a safe place. It's a safe haven. And for some of you, you could be having some career success that's bringing in more money. So you're feeling that you can take care of yourself. You're feeling more relaxed about that. Now you have 3 tens in the reading, and then plus the Fool. So this is telling me that something is coming to an end. Something is coming to completion. You're finishing up some cycles here. You have the High Priestess crossing you. So if you're in a relationship, you could be in a relationship with someone who's very spiritual or very intuitive. It could be someone who's psychic or someone who's very into, because this is a card of intuition, things hidden behind the scenes, trusting your inner guidance. So you could be connecting with your inner divinity in the month of September. Maybe you've been doing a lot of soul searching and you're really starting to connect with that inner voice that's guiding you and letting you know what to do, what not to do. You know, you're following that inner divine guidance. The High Priestess usually represents things that are unseen, things that you can only know intuitively. Like you're not seeing, you know, a sign on the road, but you're having a feeling about something, or you're just sensing a direction for your life. And you may be sensing that you're coming to an end in some area of your life. Because you have the Ten of Wands here in the past and the Ten of Swords in the future in your wish fulfillment sector, which I'll get to in a minute. So with the Ten of Wands in the past, you may feel like you've been through the mill, like you've been carrying this heavy burden and you're ready to just put it down. You're tired of carrying this heavy burden, or you've been through a difficult time where you felt like you really carried more than your fair share of workload. So if in a relationship you could have been in a relationship that felt very heavy, or there was a lot of obligation, or you felt like you were either going through a difficult time or the relationship itself felt like a burden. And you're ready to put it down. You might have even already put something down in the past. Or you might have come to terms with things in the past that weighted you down. Maybe you're releasing some baggage that has prevented you from connecting with someone in a love relationship. Maybe you had some memories or past experiences that were preventing you from sharing your love or connecting. You have the Page of Cups here. So this could represent a child. For some of you, if it has to do with a child, you might have been burdened by a child, something going on with children. If it has to do with a new relationship, the Page of Cups can sometimes mean a message of love. Either you're dealing with someone who could be a water sign, because the cups sometimes relate to water. That would be Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Or you're dealing with someone who's very sensitive, very creative, very artistic. And the Page of Cups is someone that, it's like a message of love. You want to communicate your feelings to someone. You want to get past whatever's been holding you back, this burden. You want to drop your baggage and you want to start communicating. So if there was something in the past that you were hanging on to, that you were carrying, some load, some baggage, maybe you're dropping that in September. And you're wanting to communicate more. You might have already started being more expressive about your feelings. Maybe in the past you might have kept your feelings to yourself, thinking, I don't have to, maybe you're not wanting to share your feelings. But I think you're feeling like, I need to communicate how I feel. And you're wanting, with the Ten of Pentacles, you're wanting to have that home, that happy home, that, where all your needs are met, where you're feeling abundant. But I feel like things are turning in terms of finances for you, that you're starting to feel like you have more financial security in September. And especially with the Three of Wands coming up in the front, in the future. The Three of Wands represents, you've put a lot of work in. You have the Ten of Swords here. So you could have been working really hard at either career or relationship. And now you're going to start to see things come back. So if you've been struggling in a relationship, you may start to see things start to change. If you've been struggling financially, you may see a shift where things are feeling a little bit more secure. I mean, you want more than anything, the happy home, where you feel safe, where someone's there for you, and, you have enough money to provide for your children. If you have any, because this is a card of abundance, and security. So coming up here, the Three of Wands, if you've been trying to get, a new job, because I feel like some of you might be taking a different path in a career, trying to bring in, to bring in more abundance, to bring in more security and stability in a relationship. You've had to work harder at your career, or you've had to work harder for the things that you've always taken for granted in the past. And the Three of Wands shows a partnership that is bearing fruit. The symbolism is a merchant waiting for his ships to return from sea, laden with the goods. You've sent the ships out to purchase things, and now they're coming back, and the ships are bringing back, abundance. So you might be working with two other people in a career situation, in a relationship, if things have been kind of stuck, because over the summer, we had Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde. Now Mars is going direct. That's your ruling planet. So things should start to move in September. We have Saturn going direct. Saturn and Mars have been traveling near each other. They're both in Capricorn. Mars is going to be moving into Aquarius, but for a while they've been in Capricorn. And that's the planet, that's the sign of work and heaviness, you know, feeling restricted, feeling like I've got to work, I've got to get through this, oh my God. You know, it's not a very light and friendly, I mean, you felt like everything was a battle. Especially with all the planets being retrograde, it was more of a struggle to get where you want to go. It's like you're treading water and not moving. Well, September is going to change all that. So if things have been stagnant in a relationship, or even in your career, things are going to start to shift. The energies are shifting. You've got the Fool here in the very near future. This is a brand new beginning. So for some of you, you might have ended a relationship or come to the end of the line in some area, deciding like, I just can't give this any more energy. You have the Ten of Swords here. In your wish fulfillment, it's like what you're wanting is changing. I just can't put any more energy toward this. I want something brand new. The Fool is brand new, new adventure. Starting over, wiping the slate clean. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean, in all cases, that you're going to leave a relationship. It could mean that whatever's been plaguing the relationship is ending, and you're ready for a new start. So for some of you, you could be making a new start in the current relationship. Others can be making a new start with someone totally new. So it really depends. This is a general reading, so it could apply in different ways to different people. In any case, you are going to be you're trying to make a decision in September. You have this Two of Swords here in your negative thinking sector. And I think, you know, this Ten of Swords, the Ten of Swords is actually a good card. People say, oh my God, you know, because it means you're no longer wasting energy. Whatever your troubles are, they're over. You can't get, like, once you get to the 10, it's over. The cycle is over. It can only get better. And if you look at the 10, there's a sunrise in the background. You know, okay, the worst is over. You've kind of reached the end of the line. It can't get any worse. It can only improve now. So you might be trying to make a decision about a relationship. Do I make a brand new start? Do I cut everything, cut my losses, move on? Or, you know, what do I do? How do I, you know, because you could be in a stalemate situation where you're wanting to reach out to someone, but you're wanting them to make a move. You're not sure if you should reach out, because this is a card of being on the fence. Like, I don't know. Like two people not talking to each other, let's say. You had an argument and you're not talking, and each person's waiting for the other person to make an effort. And you're like, well, I've made enough effort, you know, I'm not making any more, I'm not putting any more energy. Let them come to me now, you know, or so you're trying to make a decision on what to do. In your environment, you have the Hierophant. You could be dealing with someone who's very stubborn, hard to get through to. You know, you're trying to explain things to them, you're trying to get through to them, and they're just not hearing you. They're just set in their ways, and they're just, you know, it's very frustrating. And you're wanting to move, you're wanting to make improvements, you're wanting to say, hey, let's start over. Let's just, you know, let's forget the past, let's just start over. Let's pretend we just met, you know. And they're like kind of rigid, not open to change, stubborn. In a career situation, you could be dealing with a very conservative company. Or it could be the person that you're involved with is very conservative. It could be a Taurus. Because if you look at the Hierophant is the card of the Taurus. And Taurus can be stubborn. You know, once they get something in their head, they get locked in. You know, they like to do the right thing. The person you're dealing with is wanting to do the right thing. They're wanting to do what's expected of them. But it may not necessarily be what they want. It's like they're following tradition, or they're following some type of rigid plan or expectations. They might even be following the guidance of others. because the Hierophant is a card of wisdom, sharing your wisdom. So it could be that you're dealing with someone who has a lot of wisdom to share, if you would be open to it. Because the Hierophant can sometimes be the teacher. So it could be that some of you are either teaching or learning new things through some institution. Maybe you decided to go back to school and get some extra training, and that's helping your career path. It's also helping your relationship, because you might be dealing with, I'm just seeing like within a month, within this month, you're going to have to make a decision about what direction you want to go in. What to keep and what to leave behind. Where to start a new beginning. Because the Ten of Swords, this is in your wish fulfillment. And I feel like you're at the end of the rope. You're at the end of the line somewhere. Like, you're just like, I feel like beaten by life. I just can't go on. I can't keep putting energy and not getting anything back. Like, maybe you've been doing a lot of work and you haven't seen results in a relationship. Maybe you're the one who's caring. You're doing all the work. And you feel like you're up against this brick wall. And you can't get through to the other person. This is a card of like people they're not communicating properly. You know, you're either sending out the wrong signals, or you're receiving information and misunderstanding, because, you know, we had Mercury retrograde in August, so communication was not really very good. It wasn't a good time to sit down and have that talk with someone, because you're just not hearing each other, you're not getting each other, you're misinterpreting what the other person's saying. So you're about ready to give up. I mean, with the Ten of Swords, you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm down for the count. You got me. Let me just start over, you know. Some of you might be feeling that way, like you just want to start over. But the good thing about the 10 is it's over. Whatever it is that's been bugging you, whatever it is that's been, you know, weighing you down, it's over. It's done. The cycle is ending. And now you can start new in September with the Fool. And it will come, an issue with the relationship will be resolved. Probably by the end of the month, because you're going to have that full moon in Aries. That's when everything comes to completion. So either, and this is how it could play out, either you decide you're done with the relationship, you realize I've got to move on. For some of you, it might be that. It might be letting go of someone. Or it could mean you've worked through your issues, you've worked through the difficult baggage, and you've arrived at a point of like a new beginning. Okay, let's start. Let's try again. Let's start new beginning. Because the Fool is, for a lot of times, the Fool is putting you in a brand new situation. So I feel like some of you might even have met someone that you may want to deal with, that you might want to check out. If a relationship's not been working out, okay, this is for people who have problems in relationships. You're going to either end it, and some of you might be, you know, I'm tired of fighting, I'm tired of trying, I can't get anywhere, I just want to start over with somebody new. And you may have already met someone that's caught your eye. For those who are in a relationship, it could be that that's not so bad, it's just that you're having problems. You could start over in a sense where you have a new way of loving, a new way of looking at things. Maybe one of you has some type of career success and you're bringing in more money. So if you were fighting over financial issues, now things are settling down because more money's coming in. Maybe you've decided to take a different path with your career because you have the Eight of Pentacles here. That's the card of the Apprentice. So you might be embarking on a new career or taking a different direction with your career, and it's bringing you in more abundance. It's bringing more security. So you're not worried as much about security by the end of September, because Pluto's going to go direct at the end of September. So there's a lot of transformation happening in September. So, but with Saturn direct and Pluto direct, more planets are getting online. Mars already, Mars and Mercury are going direct. So where you feel like you've been blocked you're going to start to feel new energy coming in. And you're going to have that energy to forge ahead, to make something happen. So it could be starting over in a relationship where you start like as if you're brand new with each other, or deciding to just cut everything. I'm done. I'm giving it all up. I'm going to start a new chapter in my life. So let's see. The new moon is in Virgo. And for you, that's happening in your 6th house. And the new moon is opposing Neptune. So for some Aries, September is going to mean you really have to focus on your health. You might have to start getting healthy. So if you have any bad habits, like with Neptune in the 12th, you could be having problems with alcohol, drugs, escapism, mental illness, anything that, like Neptune is the card that represents all of those, planet. It represents illusion, it represents deception. So if you've been like kidding yourself about something, you know, thinking everything's okay, you have an opportunity for a new beginning, to take better care of yourself, to stop sacrificing yourself. So if you're in a relationship and you're giving too much, you know, this is because Neptune opposed to the moon, this is in the house of the 6th and 12th houses. That's a card of sacrifice. It's a card of being victimized, playing the victim, feeling victimized. Whatever that is, you have this new beginning now. Because the 6th house also represents work and health, to take better care of yourself, both in terms of career, you know, how much am I putting in, am I getting enough back, and in terms of your own health, like am I taking care of myself? Let me give up some bad habits. Now you have Jupiter. The new moon is also sextile Jupiter and trine Pluto. Pluto's in your 10th house right now. And Pluto, when it comes online at the end of the month, it's going to bring you career success. It's going to bring you a change in status. When Pluto goes through the 10th house, sometimes people either get married, they'll get divorced, they'll get an important new job, a very powerful position. But it's retrograde now, Pluto. So at the end of the month, things may start to happen in terms of career. Jupiter's in your 8th house. It's bringing in money, resources. So if you're applying for a loan, if you need, you know, to borrow money from friends, or if you're married, your husband's income could increase, because the 8th house is the house that represents your partner's income. So there's more money's coming in through relationship. You're going to be feeling more financially secure. You have Uranus in the 2nd house, and that's also retrograde. Everything, but they're going to be coming back. And you have Venus in the 8th with Jupiter. Jupiter and Venus are both in your 8th house. So how that's going to affect you is new ways of earning money, new support, new financial support. You could get an inheritance. It can also mean love. The 8th house is the house of intimacy. It could be that you connect with someone on a very deep level, and it transforms your life. Because Jupiter brings opportunity, Venus brings love and money. So you're going to have an opportunity to connect with someone. And in the 8th house, that's the house of transformation. So it's going to transform your life. It'll be a relationship that will really make a difference. You've got Mars and Pluto both in your 10th house, plus Saturn. So you got a lot of activity in career. You might be working really hard, very ambitious. You're wanting to change your life in some way, bring more abundance. Now Venus in the month of September and at this new moon is opposing Uranus. So whatever happens can be unexpected, out of the blue. You might connect with someone that you would have never dreamed you were attracted to. All of a sudden, like, hey, here's this person. And Venus squaring Mars can be a very sexual aspect, where you're not thinking about, is this person right for me? You're just following your passion. So you want to be careful, especially with Neptune opposing the moon. Make sure you're seeing people the way they really are, and you're not imagining someone to be. Like you could get caught up in a fantasy and not see. So if you meet someone new, you could be like, oh, gaga, make sure you know a little bit more about them before you jump into it, you know, because you could be caught in this glamour of Neptune and not really seeing the person for who they really are. But it should be an exciting time. When Venus and Uranus come together, it brings excitement. It brings sudden possibilities, sudden romance. It may or may not last, but it will be fun while you're in it, you know. It's just unexpected. With Uranus, you just never know what's going to happen. Whatever you think is going to happen may not happen, and something that totally out of left field may happen. So then we have the full moon in your sign on September 24th. So that's going to be affecting your relationships. So it's the first house. The moon is in Aries. The sun is in Libra in your 7th house. So a relationship is going to come to a culmination by the full moon. You're going to see the truth, like whatever's going on, things will be revealed. So if you're having some problems and things have been kind of hidden with the High Priestess, those things are going to come out now at this full moon. You're going to see the truth one way or another, for better or for worse. And so for some of you, you might be, you know, finishing up work on a relationship where you're like, okay, we've arrived at a new understanding. For others, you might be deciding, that's it, I'm done, you know. You have Saturn in the 10th, so you've been working really hard at this full moon. And it's squaring Saturn. There's a T-square with Saturn, so there's a conflict between relationship and work and career and your goals in life. You know, maybe you've been spending too much time at the office or spending too much time in your career, and it's affecting your relationship. So now something's got to give. When there's a full moon, it's an opposition, and that means that something, you know, you have to balance the energies. So you have to balance your needs, Aries, with the needs of the other, Libra. Libra is about, you know, making everybody happy, fairness, balance, justice. If you've been a little selfish, you're going to have to deal with the Saturn energy. Saturn brings reality. It's like the face of reality. It's like, okay, what's really going on here? You're going to see what's really going on in your relationships. Not only just romantic, but also career. Because Saturn is in your 10th house. So that's the house of career. It's the house of status. For some of you, you may want to make a commitment. Sometimes Saturn in the 10th, you know, the 10th house can represent commitment. You have the North Node in your 5th house. And this moon is trining it. Because the moon in Aries trine North Node in Leo. So there could be either a creative project that's coming to completion, or you could be starting something new with someone, new romance. And it's like, it feels karmic. You've got Mars and going through your 11th house. There's a lot of activity there with the groups you belong to, friendships. It's squaring Uranus in the 2nd house. So, just unexpected things with money. You may just get a sudden windfall through one of your friends or the groups you belong to or career, because your 11th house represents the money that you make from your career. With Uranus in the 2nd house, anything can happen. Anything that you know, things, money can just come quickly and it can go out just as quickly. So I think there's going to be some new beginnings for you, Aries, in September. And definitely you're completing something at the full moon. And for some of you, you might even be on a new career path, because next month in October you'll have the new moon in Taurus, and that'll be in your 2nd house. So you could be starting a new career too. And if a relationship, new career. But you're going to be enjoying an abundant time. There's going to be, finally, you're going to start to see some results. So all your work has not been in vain. So I hope this reading was a help to you. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to get a private reading with me, just click on the link in the description box, and it'll take you to my website, and we can get that set up. So in the meantime, Aries, enjoy September. and enjoy your full moon.